Hello there. Hello there, YouTubes and the Twitches. How the Devlington are we? I am sensationally well. Thank you for asking. Rory Cats, you might even be able to hear him licking. He's licking down there, licking something. What are you licking? He's licking the inside of his cone. He's just eaten, clearly. So that's what's happening there. What are you doing? He doesn't want to talk. Anyway, the update with Rory Cats is that he's alright and that. You know, he's fine. Going to the vets Thursday, so yeah, no. Anyway, so yes, the image on screen, by the way, is a cursed piece of garbage that I thought to myself, I've seen this. Now you all have to see this too. It's a thing. Anyway, so Fake Man is talking to you. I'm not. He's real. He's down here. Anyway, I'm not going to annoy him though. Not yet. Anyway, I'll get him on camera at some point though, because he's a div. Anyway, yes. Sorry. Yeah. Let's no more beating around the bush, Kev. Let's dive straight in, shall we? With where the fuck am I? Look how fucking cute this squirrel is. Hang on. It pauses if I even go onto the OBS. That's annoying. Anyway, so yeah. Look how amazing. Look, this is ridiculously cute. It should be kind of illegal to be as cute as this little squirrel. Look at his little arms. Ah! Like a baby T-Rex. But actually just a squirrel. In many respects. But that is very cute. I think I'm definitely going to get diabetes from all this sugar. No, they're little baby squirrels. No. No. Who doesn't like being brushed? Anyway. Yeah. See, I'm leading in with something nice because we've got hella cancer to deal with today. Oh, they're beautiful squirrels. You're beautiful squirrels. Anyway. Yes, we're going to be talking a little bit today about several things. We're going to be talking a little bit about Noam Chomsky, who isn't actually a gnome at all. I don't know why people keep calling him that. His average height, as far as I'm aware. Do you see what I did? That joke works better written down. Yes. Noam Chomsky went on with Brianna Joy Gray, who's Bernie Sanders' former campaign manager, and a twat from Chapo Trap House. No, she's not the twat. There's another person who is a twat from Chapo Trap House. And yeah, they decided that they knew better. And leftism online is sort of cancer, isn't it, in many respects? It's a shame. It's a shame. But anyway, enough. We're going to be talking about that. Caleb Maupin went on the Low Society podcast. Oh, God. And the story we're going to lead off with, which is Baked Alaska. We'll get onto it, though. Anyway, just a quick little plug straight up the bum. A plug for tomorrow's show. I'm going to be talking to at Tim Pool Clips about Tim Pool, probably. I imagine. Yeah, he's the number one Twitter source for Tim Pool critiquery. And he's a fucking awesome account. You should definitely go and follow. It's at Tim Pool Clips. And he has deigned to show me his presents for Christmas. This is bad. I can't form sentences today, unlike the other fucking days. Anyway, he'll be on with me tomorrow, where hopefully I'll be able to string some words together to make coherent sentences and be able to discuss some shit. Because Tim Pool's been up to some crazy shit in the last few days. With trying to say, leftists won't debate me, and then loads of leftists were like, debate me? And then he was like, oh yeah, but you have to fly to wherever the fuck he's from, I don't even know where he lives, in the middle of a pandemic, to my secret lair, where I'll cuff on you. He didn't say the coughing bit, but basically, no one's going to. Why do you have to fly there? And then he said, oh my god, the worst excuse. He was saying, my show isn't set up for remote interviews, which A, is a lie. You've done remote interviews in the past, you fucking idiot. And secondly, it's a Skype call, man. If you can't handle a Skype call, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, so he's been doing that, but conveniently did get round to giving a softball blowjob interview to the leader of the Proud Boys. So, you know, that's fun. So plenty to talk about with at Tim Paul Clips tomorrow. Same time, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. on the east coast of Americana land, and 6 a.m. in Fiji. I forgot to do that part of the intro. Oh, today's amazing. But we do have 0 drop frames, so, you know, good stuff. Tim's in DC. He's in Washington, DC, okay. I'm setting myself up for a fail. How so? In what respect? Like, yeah, the fact that I can't handle technology is one thing. Tim's like a professional at this. He does this for a living. And if he can't handle a Skype conversation with Sam Cedar, which he definitely can, because they've done it before, I mean, he's lying. He's just lying, is what it is. It's part of his grift, isn't it? Anyway, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Today, though, we're going to be talking about this fucking idiot. This man, his name is Anthony Gionet. He goes by Tim. Tim Gionet. That's his real name. Anthony, which is really odd. But anyway, he goes by Baked Alaska on the internet is his name, and he's a weird combination of urban hipster and freakish bumblefuck hick. This was a picture of him in 2017, rocking the bleach blonde mullet, 30 years after it was legally acceptable. He is a truly monumentally awful human being in so many ways. But the one thing I want you to know about this piece of garbage, above all other things, is that he is a grifter. An absolute pure, he's distilled the grift to its purest shitery. But the problem is he's not actually that good at it. He's one that burns bridges far too easily. I know I've burnt some bridges, but this motherfucker has burnt every bridge that has ever existed in his life. Not literally, of course. I'm not suggesting he's a serial bridge arsonist. That would involve some gumption. You'd need to know what to do there, and he doesn't. Anyway, before becoming the MAGA chud you see in front of you this particular image, which is a still from one of his music videos, we'll get onto that in just a short time. One of his videos called The MAGA Anthem. Yeah, he thinks he's a rapper. He's a white boy rapper. It's slightly better than Stefan Molyneux, but I mean that's like saying dog shit tastes better than cow shit. Like it's still shit. Anyway, he's awful, and we'll get onto all of that. Anyway, before he became a MAGA chud, he worked for BuzzFeed. Yes, I know. He has absolutely no semblance of principle whatsoever. At BuzzFeed, he supported some libertarian-ish causes, but also a lot of progressive bullshit. And when I say bullshit, I mean he clearly didn't believe them, or didn't believe the MAGA stuff that he then went on to profess, and then change his mind about and change his mind again. He's a liar. He's a liar. And interestingly, considering the first video I'm going to play of him, he came out in favour of Black Lives Matter when it was first hit onto the scene after the brutal police slaying of Michael Brown. You might remember that from many years ago, what seems like centuries, frankly, given 2020's abominable length. So he worked for BuzzFeed, completely turned his back on that, became MAGA chud extraordinaire. Literally to the point where he was making songs like Trump is my president, Oh my god, I think my favourite lyric ever put down. I think it's actually the finest sentence in the English canon in a song called "We Love Our Cops," because yes, this man doesn't just lick the boot; he deep throats it to the point where it's poking out of his arsehole. The line, "We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military. They're important." This creature you see before you on the screen thought that that was not only not one of the most embarrassing, cringy pieces of shit ever, he thought that was a really good lyric and put it in a song and released that unto the world. And I thank him for it. It made me laugh enormously and still does to this day. Anyway, so became a MAGA chud, then took it a step further and became Fash Lord Supreme, if you will, when he marched at Charlottesville. Yes, that Charlottesville, where a woman died. When I say died, she was murdered by a terrorist that this fucker agreed with, at least in theory. In case you wanted any proof of that.
We are live in Charlottesville, Virginia.
He was at the Tiki Torch March.
Replace us! You will not replace us! You will not replace us!
That's who this guy is, okay? But thankfully, he did also get maced.
I need to rub it.
So, kind of a bit of justice. The day after the march thing, he got maced.
What do I do with my eyes?
And him screaming, "I need milk," while stumbling around blind, made me so erect that it took several months for that erection to subside. That's how good that was. Look at him. Yeah, replace your eyelids, cunt. Anyway, so that happened. He got maced. Now, obviously, I don't endorse that kind of behaviour. That is dangerous and wrong and bad. And that is that Rory Katz? He just poked up on the thing. Yes, it is. Anyway, if I swivel round, can you? No, he's just Can you see the little bit that's poking up there? That's Rory's cone. He's got up on the bed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, so he got bear maced, all of that jazz. And I just want to... But it's not you, Rory Katz in the chat is not a real cat. It's a person pretending to be a cat. God damn it. Anyway, so he got bear maced. And I want to show you this because I'm setting up a thing. A video of him went viral and I want to explain who he is. Now, the thing is, he's basically fucking irrelevant, okay? He got his YouTube channel nuked. Again, we'll get to it in a second. There's a lot to get to. And you know when a far-right piece of shit gets their channel nuked, you usually get some celebratory memes and stuff. People, the usual crab rave stuff and the, "oh, we got him," and then, all of that. That kind of memery, that kind of memeage will take place. But not on this occasion. He's so irrelevant that it was barely noticed, to be honest. The only reason I'm covering it is because this is sort of comfortable old ground for me. I once watched a 9-hour, because I'm a very, very sick man in many respects, a 9-hour stream he made when his first Twitter account got banned because he made a meme about Laura Loomer, who is a conservative, fascist, piece of shit, but is also Jewish. He made a meme about her in a gas chamber and got banned. Fair enough. And he strolled around the streets of Los Angeles for 9 hours talking to a plethora of bemused Los Angelians. Is that what they're referred to as? I don't know. The fine denizens of that city. And bless him, or bless them, the cities, the part of the city he strolled through, the people were very nice, because rather than saying, "I don't care that you got banned from Twitter, why are you talking to me, you random prick," they were like, "Oh, right, okay, that what happened there, that's a shame." Like, they actually fucking genuinely, what's the word I'm looking for? They humoured him. They humoured him rather than telling him to fuck off, because they were really polite. 9 hours of him doing that. That's the kind of weirdo he is. He's so strange. Anyway, And he's a fascist prick anyway. So yes, and we'll get to the recent happenings in just a second. But I want to set this up because you can tell that with the flip-flopping of the extremeness of the guy, like he's a rabid anti-Semite in many respects. Again, we'll get to it shortly. So he was worked for BuzzFeed, then he became MAGA, then he went full fucking Charlottesville fash, fair crossover with MAGA, but not exclusively the same thing. Exclusively the same thing? They're not synonymous necessarily. Then, in early 2019, after the New Zealand mosque shootings, if you remember, which was very much tied to the alt-right and all the rest of it, he decided, it's getting a bit too hot in here, need to leave this, and released this video and a number of others about how he was leaving the right.
Guys, what's going on? Big Talaska here. I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little more serious today. Today I want to talk to you guys about the New Zealand shooting. It's a little late to talk about, but I feel like better late than never. A lot of people are talking about whether the shooter was left-wing or right-wing, and I just found that really...
Angelinos, apparently, is what they're called in Los Angeles. There you go. I will forget that, but thank you for telling me nonetheless. I like being educated. Although technically, is it education if it's just in one ear and out the other? I don't know.
Strange, because to me, all the signs are there that this guy is clearly a right-wing extremist. He had a black sun, which is a white supremacist symbol, on the front of his military vest. I mean, I think it was clear as day. This guy was saying things like the 14 words and going on 8chan, 4chan.
Which is interesting because he's used the 14 words, the white nationalist mantra, many times before and since this.
All the right-wing sites, not to mention he used very similar lingo as Richard Spencer, who we've been calling far-right for many years. So why is it...
Who's we? You marched with the cunt. There's no we going on at all.
Now the right wing is trying to make this guy left.
Also, you can tell, by the way, how shit BitChute is as a website, how far right it is. The ratio on this is 22 thumbs down to 4 thumbs up. For a guy saying, yeah, maybe don't go around shooting people. That's not cool. Mad.
Now, I can understand why the right wing is trying to use these optics, but it's not truthful. If you guys don't know, I recently left the alt-right, and I feel like it's my responsibility and duty to give a more honest take on the situation.
You see, he's left the alt-right. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to see that that's the case. But the problem is, once you've opened up the Pandora's grift box, difficult to get the lid back on, and once you have, it's all over anyway. Okay, he found himself basically unemployed and unemployable because he'd marched at Charlottesville and talked about Jews running the world and white genocide. He literally accused the film. What was the film? I forgot. Anyway, one of these right-wing things where they say, oh, this film's promoting white genocide. All this shit, right? Talked about wanting to machine gun fucking migrants in the Mediterranean and stuff. Just awful shit. So he found himself completely unemployable. So when he then left the right, so to speak, he found himself without any home at all. So it took him about 6 months, I think it was, which I don't know how long unemployment checks last in America, but it would appear about 6 months, because he then almost within 6 months, like I say, instantly crawled back up as this channel called Zoomer Clips on YouTube. Not on YouTube, on Twitter. And he's a far right piece of shit again. He's gone back to the alt-right. And there's one particular thing, in case anyone is wondering as to, because they like to lie about all of this. Anyway, by the way, again, that's Zoomer Clips. Jews trying to replace Yabba, that's Baked Alaska and friends. Somebody's got to do something about this. So, you get the sense of how anti-Semitic this is. But they lie constantly about this not being his account when it clearly is his account. Where are we? Where is the thing? Here we go. Hey, real Donald Trump. Another one of your ardent supporters, Zoomaclips, is soon to be banned for blatantly false reasons. Big tech censorship, blah, blah, blah. And it was Zoomaclips, Back Alaska's YouTube channel that they were talking about that got banned. And it did, just shortly. Where are we? If we scroll up slightly, YouTube, Baked Alaska's YouTube account got banned, so on and so forth. So Zoomaclips very much is Baked Alaska, okay? And I've got a few choice selections of tweets from his to show you just how awful he is. And this is, yeah, there's a lot of badness going on here. He stated on the 23rd of September, Breonna Taylor got what she deserved. I wonder if that was because she was black. I wonder, Baked. I wonder why people might think that you're a Nazi scumfuck who deserves everything that's coming to him. By the way, that's I couldn't possibly say anything other than that, because I couldn't endorse anything. That would be naughty and bad. Violence is always bad. Remember that. He says they're still talking about Charlottesville. One person died 3 years ago. Get over it. It's funny because a terrorist, one of your terrorist friends, killed someone, didn't they? Baked. Fun times, I know. The problem is though, it keeps happening. Your right-wing terrorist friends keep killing lots of people. It isn't just one person 3 years ago. It's dozens of people all the fucking time. It's mosques and synagogues and peaceful protesters being run down. Things like that. They keep happening. I think someone ought to do something about the likes of you. From a legal point of view, of course. Anyway, he continues. Although, why, baffles me. He's a Q supporter. That's right. He Q sent me. If you go through his timeline, which you absolutely shouldn't do, I hope this channel gets nuked very soon, like his YouTube. I hope this Twitter account gets nuked, like his YouTube. There's constant references to trust the plan, which is a Q thing about, even if it seems like Donald Trump is actually massively in favour of pedophilia, just ignore that and pretend like there's a plan in place and that he's playing 4D chess by being friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, that sort of thing. And then one final one. Just a little snippet of his anti-Semitism. He says here, Antifa is a Jewish organisation. Now, firstly, Anthony. Can I call you Anthony? Cuntface. It isn't an organisation, like, at all. There are Jewish people involved in it, though, and there has been from the very start. And I wonder, dear viewers, whether we can think of any reasons as to why a Jewish person, or Jewish people more generally, might have motivation to seek direct opposition to fascism. Why Jewish people in particular would want to see fascism destroyed. I wonder if there is a sort of vast history of pogroms and holocausts against them by fascist scum that might lead them to being proactive in seeking to oppose fascism. I don't know. I don't know history that well or anything, so I'm just going to put that out there as a thought and let it go where it will, you know? Anyway, burpee. Yeah, so Baked Alaska is fascist scum. Let's not beat around the bush there. And so we get on to the reason that I'm even talking about him in the first place. There's a video went viral because, along with his fascist bullshittery and his support of Donald Trump, he's obviously anti-mask. Yeah, because these people are anti-scientific douchebags. Not just that, but he's really, really aggressive with it. I genuinely don't know how this man still has teeth. And I'm not advocating anything there, because that would be bad. Violence is bad. I'm just saying, we all know, if you act in certain aggressive ways in public, people might take affront to that behaviour and may seek direct retribution themselves. That can happen. It's just a reality of life. And I don't know how it hasn't with this man. Let's take a look. Content warning for horrific abuse of verbal abuse of these store clerks who just asked him nicely to put a mask on because that's the rule. These people didn't make the rule, it's just the fucking rule. Yeah, and body shaming and fat phobia and homophobia. This man is trash.
Shut the fuck up, bitch! How about that? You're a little communist snitch, bro.
Get out.
You leave.
Get out.
Firstly, I like that communist means nothing now. And secondly, when he says leave, you leave. While the store clerk's going to go, you know what, I am in the middle of my fucking 8-hour shift and I do need to pay rent this week and all the rest of it. But no, yeah, I'm just going to leave because you told me to leave. Baked is one of the stupidest human beings. He really is.
You small ass dick, motherfucker. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, bitch? How about you don't talk to me like that?
Imagine that. Imagine verbally abusing someone and telling them to not talk to you like that. To be honest with you, if someone behaves in this way, I think store clerks are within their right to terms of service violation. There's no fucking way I'm completing that sentence on air.
Fucking small ass dick bitch. Huh? Call the police over a mask? You guys are fucking cucks, dude. Look at
you guys are cucks. They don't make the rules. Answer me. And that's not me with a lisp saying answer me. I'm saying his name is Answer Me. Tim, that's not them that's making the rules. Okay? They're like on just minimum wage. Why are you being a cunt? Seriously, why aren't they allowed to terms of service you?
Look at you. You're fucking 400 ass pounds. Get on a fucking treadmill, bitch. SJW ass bitch. Blue hair ass looking ass bitch.
Why is he also doing this weird pseudo black thing? SJW ass bitch. I suppose it's in line with the fact that he thinks he's a rapper, maybe. I don't know.
Pull your mask up. How about fuck you?
Shut the hell up and get the hell out.
Oh, triggered! Dude, we got...
But, motherfucker, they asked you nicely to put a mask on, and you started ranting. But it's them that are triggered. I don't know why they're not allowed to, terms of service, trigger you.
Someone triggered over here. You are triggered as fuck, Emily. Leave, please. Leave, please. Oh. Shut down real quick. Please leave. How's that icy? How's that?
He's got some real sick chops, hasn't he? Like, oh, leave, please, leave, please. If you just say it in a silly voice, that's a real proper burn. Yeah.
Icy. You need some more calories, don't you? Look at those rolls. Holy fuck. Blue hair ass, SJW ass looking bitch. Fuck you and fuck your mask, you fucking communist.
You fucking communists. Yeah. He's lovely, isn't he? Just remember, he got maced, okay? There is some justice in this world. There was then this slightly mental clip. Again, homophobia and all the rest of it. Content warning. He makes quite a habit of this. He does these streams where he walks around and acts like a cunt towards people. Anyway, this was another example of that.
USA! 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 Fuck communism! Fuck you! Fuck Antifa! You are fucking gay! You're fucking gay! We're in the USA, bro! You are gay! I knew it! I knew it! Gay Antifa!
See, if you just point and go gay Antifa, even though this person's clearly not ashamed of their sexuality at all, that also is a sick burn. He's very quick, isn't he? You should do stand-up. You really should. Yeah. Fucking hell. Anyway. Now, there's one final one of these clips. The first one went viral. These last two haven't. But I wanted to play them anyway because there will be comeuppance on occasion, even for trash bags, or especially like for trash bags like this. Right, so he goes into another store because he wants to act like the big hard man, thinking, "Oh, I can abuse these people in stores because they're minimum wage workers or close to that, and I'm super awesome, even though he really isn't." And then just abuse them and get away with it. And remember how fucking ballsy he's been in these first two clips, just screaming in people's faces and pointing. And he does the similar thing here. Notice how maybe things change towards the end of this clip.
You need a mask? Yeah, I actually do. Do you have one? All right, thank you. I have one here to say, fuck your mask! I'm not wearing it.
Okay, get out then, man.
No, I want, do you guys have any,
Get out.
do you have pepper, do you have bear spray?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, can I get a mask? I was just kidding.
You can't really
get a
fix
mask.
that low.
Dude, get out.
Let me get a mask.
Get out.
What do you mean? I don't have to.
You're being annoying. We've asked.
I'm not being annoying.
Private
Okay,
business.
shh.
See how ballsy he's being there? You see how amazingly confident he's being? Well, he walks around the store, they call the police.
I sound very smart.
He sounds like a complete twat.
Committed
Right?
trespassing.
Now, Alpha Alaska gets arrested tonight. Chad mode.
All right, I
Not-
guess if
not
you're refusing
Chad
to
mode.
sell me the hat, I'll just leave it. Have a good night.
All right.
I really like this hat.
Now you are being.
Yeah.
So stop.
Okay.
Stop. Put your camera down. Put
Okay.
your hands behind your back.
What's wrong? What did I do?
You've committed trespassing. I already talked to them on my way here. They asked you 5 times to leave. That's more than
I'm
reasonable.
leaving right now, sir.
Doesn't matter. You lost that
I'm
opportunity.
leaving right now, sir. Please don't arrest me, sir. What a cunt.
I'm leaving right now.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Why are you upset?
These people called me and asked me to be here.
Because of a mask, bro. There's no mask mandate in Arizona.
Stop. It's a private
leaving
business.
right now.
No, you're not leaving right now. You're gonna
Why
turn
not?
around and put your hands behind your back. You're
you
under
serious?
arrest for trespassing. I'm dead serious.
I'm leaving.
Doesn't
right
matter. You had that opportunity and you didn't do it.
And they arrested him. Now, I'm not necessarily for cops. But fact is, he made a song called We Love Our Cops. We're gonna get to it. Oh yes, we are going to fucking get to it. So yeah, he's, you lick the boot leather, sometimes the boot leather kicks you in the teeth. You fucking twat. Anyway, so that was just funny. I love the fact that he got his comeuppance eventually. Now, after all of this, he did finally get his YouTube channel nuked. And rightly so. He was obviously using it to promote like all kinds of like abuse against shop workers and anti-COVID or anti-science COVID nonsense and all kinds of fascist bullshit. So he got his channel nuked finally after years. But the problem was that, well, there's only one problem, and that being that I was looking for the videos on this, right? Because I was going to show you the first clip, the viral clip, and all the rest of it. And so I thought, well, I'll show them the cringe music videos as well, and we're gonna take a listen. So I went to the channel before it got nuked. Getting the links so I can save them. I prepare for this show. I know it doesn't look like it, this scuffed shit fucking stream, but I do put some small modicum of effort into it. And I prepared the show, and I got the links. And then as I was getting some of the final links from his channel, it went down. As I was looking at the motherfucker, I got to see a channel nuking in the wild. Like, you hear about these things, but you don't expect to see it. Like, it's like going on safari and actually seeing 2 giraffes fucking or something. Like, that's a weird analogy. Like, you assume, like, you know that giraffes must be shagging, because, like, baby giraffes keep getting born, right? But you don't expect to see it. I saw the YouTube equivalent of 2 giraffes getting it the fuck on. The giraffes fuck, don't they? They're mammals. I don't know. Anyway, I suppose the problem with giraffes having sex is that if you go down on them, it's quite a long way down because of the neck. You see what I did there? Oh, giraffe oral sex jokes on the fly. Anyway, I've got sidetracked thinking about giraffe sex now. That's not a place you need to be when you're live streaming, Kev. Pull yourself together, man. Anyway, so I got to see it nuked live, which was fun and hilarious. But the problem was, I was like, oh shit, I don't have these fucking links anymore because they're all dead. Oh, bollocks. So I had to go and find replacements. Now, I found the replacements for the three I wanted anyway. But the problem is the videos aren't there. It's just the audio. And you don't get the full Baked Alaska experience without seeing his ridiculously awful videos. But I did find, I didn't find, someone sent me, where are we? Where are we? Sent me this, right? Which I'm not going to play you the actual audio from this because fuck that noise. But this is from the video We Love Our Cups, right? This is the kind of shit he does in his videos, right? Like, it's just him dancing around like a twat in front of the thing. And what I especially love about the We Love Our Cups video, although again I don't have it so I can't show you the whole thing, is that at one point he's singing about how much he loves cups and military and all the rest of it. And as you see, the words pop up on the screen using Sony Vegas editing because he's really classy. Not there's anything wrong with that, but like it's not very like stylish or anything. And he literally one of the sets of words that pop up on the screen is "Don't tread on me," and I was like, "Motherfucker, you're singing about how much you love the cops and how much you want to deep throat the military, and yet you're saying don't tread on me." You fucking idiot. Do you not understand what any of these fucking words mean? Do you understand what any of these concepts are? Jesus, he's such a dense bastard. Anyway. So, so that's a glimpse into the world of the Baked Alaska music video. But I've only got the audio for you. And I'm going to play you 3 songs from his. And I'm going to be giving critique as we go, so it'll be fair use. The first one is the MAGA anthem, because I really want you to get a good flavour for the man, and I say man very loosely. His lyrics are dog shit. I mean, absolute dog shit. Yeah.
Build the wall, it just got 10 feet higher. Build the wall, it just got 10 feet strong.
So that's build the wall, it just got 10 feet higher. Build the wall, it just got 10 feet strong. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Build the wall, it just got 10 feet higher. And build and build and build and just build the wall. Build and build and build and just build the wall. America great. I just want to have a Trump steak on my plate.
I just want to make America great. I just want to have a Trump steak on my plate. Again, he didn't think that was a really cringy thing. He thought that was a good lyric. He put that in a song and put it on the internet for everyone to hear. The levels of cringe could honestly kill. This is lethal doses of cringe I'm bringing to you tonight. But I have to get this off my chest. I've been dealing with this cunt for years. So to see him get rid of him on YouTube is delicious.
History again, 'cause my daddy keeps winning.
My daddy keeps winning.
Yeah, that's just the beginning. I just want to make America great. I just want to have a Trump steak on my plate. Making history again, 'cause my daddy keeps winning. Got the nomination, yeah, that's just the beginning. Build the wall, it just got 10 feet higher.
Build the wall, it just got 10 feet strong.
Build the wall, it just got 10 feet higher. And build and build and build and just build.
So you get the idea. That's the MAGA anthem. He's not the best lyricist ever. I think we can safely say that. Like, I'm not going to say he's the worst, because I just watch International Gorillas, and the songs in that were pretty bad. So I don't know that he's necessarily the worst, but he's up there. He's fucking up there, or down there, whatever. And but to the person in the chat, I wasn't talking about going down on a giraffe as a human. I meant like if you're a giraffe. I want about consenting giraffe love. Anyway, it don't matter. Yes, so We Love Our Cops. Again, featuring the best lyric that's ever existed.
H beauty is our beauty.
Still forgot to put the ad block on.
Yeah. Back to Alaska. We love our cops, our law enforcement.
We love our military, they're important.
We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. And when I'm in a jam,
When I'm in a jam,
I know that I can call up the man, can call up the man with the plan. When I'm on the run, when I'm on a run,
all I gotta do is dial 911.
we love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important.
What the fuck is this? It's the same lyrics.
When I'm on a run, when I'm on a run, all I gotta do is dial 911. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our veterans, they're important. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our veterans, they're important.
Changed it to veterans, you see?
When they're out at war, you know I appreciate them more, appreciate them more. Thank you, Lord, when they keep us safe, when they keep us safe. You know they make America a better place. We love our cops, our law enforcement.
He's not great at rhyming schemes either.
We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love the military, they're important.
Yeah, Mamu, I can't blame you. Like, they're saying that they're going to take me to The Hague for this. And you know what? I can't even argue that. I'm just going to have to plead guilty. Like, this is a human rights crime that's taking place here.
When I'm in a jam, when I'm in a jam, I know that I can call up the man, can call up the man with the plan. When I'm on a run, when I'm on a run,
All I gotta do is dial 911.
911.
We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military. They're important. Is the worst lyric ever. Literally the worst lyric that's ever existed. Even if you like the cops and the military and all the rest of it, that is the linguistic equivalent of triple cancer. Okay? That's 3 lots of cancer in one. Whew. Anyway, one final one. Just because, again, the lyrics are quite something. This one's called Trump is My President. I wish I could show you the video for this as well, because, I mean, you're already getting a fair taste of the cringe. Well, the cringe factor in this one was turned up to 1 million, because at one point, just before he says the line, and I'm serious, this is going to come up, gird your loins for this one. Illegals, you've got to go. Just before he says that line, he's doing cool bro handshake bump fist bump thing with 2 black dudes, because he's not a racialist, yo. Like, it's so, oh god, my toes are curling thinking about it. Jesus. Anyway, so Trump is my president.
Yeah. It's taken so long for us to get to this point. But we won.
We won.
We
won.
Make America great again. Yeah. The liberals are crying, 'cause we never stopped fighting. Started on the Trump train, and now we're all flying. Never look behind us. We were deaf to the bias. We took a leap of faith at a Trump stake, 'cause we always knew that it would guide us.
We took a leap of faith. We ate a Trump steak because we always knew it would guide us. What's his obsession with Trump steaks? Do you remember when that was a thing? What does that even mean? Trump stakes would guide us. Go away.
Now we're winning so much that we might get sick of winning, but I don't think so. And we're swimming to the top non-stop in the house while they're peeping in the window.
Who's peeping
and
in
I
any
didn't
windows?
think we'd get this far, but now we elected our hero. And I didn't want to bring this up, but illegals, you gotta go. This is my president.
Also, if you didn't want to bring it up, why did you bring it up? Oh yeah, because you're a racist piece of shit, just like Donald Trump.
This is my president. This is my president. This is my president.
Oh, that's a point actually. Yeah, I've just remembered that image of the side, the quiff thing reminds me of. Can I find Baked Alaska's tattoo? He's got the worst tattoo ever. Tattoo. Is that it? Oh, hang on. Yeah, look at this. Look at this fucking monstrosity. No, hang on. Wait. No. Look at that. Make America Great Again with the star and then the Donald Trump quiff thing. Like, holy fucking shit, man. Oh. God. Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
My president.
Yeah.
This is my president. This is my president. Trump is my president. Earned our stripes like Raja. Now we're screaming out MAGA. MAGA! America was crippled. Now they're walking on water.
America was crippled. Now we're walking on water. Yeah, how's that working out for you, you dickheads?
And we kept it high energy. Shout out to my enemies. This really was a love fest from the silent majority. Yeah.
Yeah, a love fest from the silent majority.
We don't want no spirit cooking going on in the kitchen if I had it my way.
We don't want spirit cooking going on in the kitchen if I had it my way. Oh, God. He literally thinks that Pizzagate was real. He literally thinks that's a thing. Yeah.
Chilling out on the White House front lawn, reading WikiLeaks all day. And I really
Yeah,
love
you
my
could
family,
read,
make
can't you,
America great, even if they don't have faith. We made history on November 8th, Independence Day. Yeah. This is my president.
Independence Day?
This is my president. 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 Trump is my president. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is my president. Trump is my president.
Anyway, so, yeah, that... I do belong at The Hague for having inflicted that upon you. And you're very welcome. Did Diamond and Silk write these lyrics? To be honest with you, even Diamond and Silk, I think, would stop short of this. Because this is... I mean, Diamond and Silk are cancer. Like I say, this is triple threat cancer. This is cancer... This is thrice compounded cancer. Thrice is what I meant to say. It doesn't really matter. Anyway. Yes, oh, hang on, there was one other thing. One piece of Trump-based cringery. Well, just whilst we're vaguely on the topic. I might replay this on the happy hour when we get to it. This, I don't even know how to describe this. Like, they might have to build a separate building next to The Hague to house me for all of my evils. Because this, I'm going to show you this. This is the MAGA YMCA. This person is a Trump impersonator. I think it's a person. I don't know. Maybe it's a giraffe giving cunnilingus to another giraffe. I don't know. I don't know how this works. But this is, again, this is like, I don't know how to begin. It's cancer.
America great, we are all in this together. Everybody together now. Everybody sing M-A-G-A. M-A-G-A. Black, white, and brown from every city and town.
It's good I don't own a gun, because suicide seems like a really good option right now. Oh. Don't say I don't put you through agony. Don't tell me that, because I just have. You're very welcome. I had to sit through that. You've had to sit through it too. That's how this works, okay? That was an abomination. That was the cringiest thing. That was arguably more cringy than fucking Baked Alaska. Although it's touch and go. It's, you know, toss of a coin, really, isn't it? Fucking hell. MAGA. The problem is, right, now I'm going to hear that song and think of this. It's ruined what is a great drunken singing song. Singing song? Song to sing. And now I'm just going to be thinking, MAGA, and then I'll blow my fucking brains out, because it's, you know, in Minecraft, of course. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, we live in a hell world. I think that's absolutely undeniable. Anyway, talking of a hell world, moving on to something, I suppose, more serious, but still shite. I talked about it in the intro. Oh, there we go. Noam Chomsky. I'm not going to do the gnome joke again, because that's played out as fuck, obviously. Anyway, famous anarchist theoretician / linguistic philosopher, or whatever the fuck it's called. Anyway, linguistics expert, whatever. Professor, that's the word I was looking for. Anyway, he went on this new thing called the Bad Faith Podcast, which is jointly hosted by Brianna Joy Gray, who was previously Bernie Sanders' campaign manager in the 2019/20 primaries season. And Virgil Texas, who's a fucking prick from the Chapo Trap House podcast. So, yeah. And they both decided that they knew a lot more than Noam Chomsky, and they're wrong. They're just wrong. And that they're worth more, it seems, because they were going on about where's the... Hang on a minute. Where am I? There's a thing... Hang on. Oh, I'll have to go on to his actual fucking thing, won't I? Anyway, it's on Virgil Texas's thing, where he's going on about he won the debate. I mean, firstly, if that's how you see it, you literally are doing bad faith conversation. Literally. Not just the sarcastic way in which you've called it that. You are literally a bad faith actor. Where is it? Where are we? It says he wins the debate. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to be playing the little clips they've got on the thing, because I'm not signing up to their fucking Patreon. Ever. Just... no. Where are we? Where the fuck is the fucking thing? Oh, it's so annoying. There we go, look. Me and Bree Joy argued with Noam Chomsky for an hour on the latest episode of Bad Faith. We won the argument. What kind of Trumpian cuntery is that? Like, that's embarrassing, man. Don't fucking talk like that. Jesus. Anyway, so there are a few clips that I'm going to sort of go through as we go. Like, I already had my issues with the Chapo Trap House people for their weird... hang on. Yeah, that's gone too far. That's too far as well. Where are we? There's Noam Chomsky's first one, right? Okay. So, yeah, they've got the weird kind of Bernie or bust / fuck the DNC at all costs, burn it all down, they don't seem to care if Trump gets elected type deal. Now, this is the problem I have. Now, I'm not going to, in the course of this, or I'm certainly going to try not to, like, some people refer to it as vote shaming. I think is a slightly silly phrase, but I understand what they mean by that. I'm going to try and not do that, okay? Because there are perfectly good reasons not to want to vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is shite. But the point that I, and indeed Noam Chomsky, is, well, he already made it because this is obviously pre-recorded, but you'll hear him make, is that Biden is shit, but Trump is so much worse that I think he probably should vote for Biden. But I'm not going to like shit on anyone who doesn't want to vote for Biden. I understand that, and that's not a choice I now have to make because I'm not an American. I'm not an American, but I have illegally voted in all of the states. Just in case anyone from Project Veritas wants to get involved, I voted several times in all of the states. If Trump doesn't win, it will be solely because of my election fraud, naturally. But obviously, I don't actually have a vote in America, so it's not a choice I have to make. So I'm not going to like try and shit on anyone. But it does seem to me a fundamentally silly position. The Bernie or bust / I'm not going to vote, burn it all down bullshit. Now I understand where it comes from because fundamentally, I think a lot of people were really burnt out and unhappy when Bernie lost, especially because it's like a second time and he got close and he looked like, you know, he walked you halfway up the hill and then back down again. And trust me, as a person who supported Bernie and desperately wanted him to be the nominee and become the president, it would have been fucking badass. I get that you're angry about that, but you need to think of it in a slightly longer term view, if that makes sense. Bernie might be the first person you have had any faith in or whatever, but there'll be other people who will come along. Bernie Sanders is a trailblazer, and in his wake, there's a lot more space for people like AOC and some good, genuine social democratic people. And again, that's not socialism. I'm not arguing that you need to do that from a point of view of socialism. But the point is, don't mix up electoralism with voting, because they're not the same thing, okay? Electoralism is the idea that you can get what you want just by voting. Voting just means voting. It doesn't preclude anything else. So, for instance, in the extreme, you could vote whilst planning a revolution. I'm not suggesting you should plan a revolution. Violence is always bad. Terms of service, naughty, naughty. But you could, in theory, do that. That would be the extreme example. But the more normal example would be you can go and vote for a party you don't like, hold your nose, go into the poll, vote for the lesser of evils, and then still do community activism. You can still try and get more progressive people elected. You can still get involved with trade unions. There are 1,000,001 things you can do to try and help your community beyond voting, because you accept that there are fundamentally things you can't get that you want by just voting. So there are lots of other things you can do. You don't just vote, you vote and you fucking organise, is the point that I think Noam Chomsky would generally make. But anyway, so I think it's a strange position to hold if you care about making life at least less shit, not necessarily brilliant, but less shit, to sit there and act as if the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign are the same thing. They're fundamentally not, okay? They're both capitalist, there's no fucking doubt about that. But if you don't think legalising marijuana and expunging sentences of people convicted for marijuana will instantly make a very significant impact to the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of largely ethnic minority people in America, then you're just wrong. I'm sorry, that will make a difference. If you don't think an improvement to the pathetically stagnant minimum wage in America will make a vast improvement to people of all races who live at the bottom end of the socio-economic ladder, again, you're just wrong. That these things will make a difference. Now, will he do all of these things? I don't think he will. But if he does any of them, it will improve the lives of people. And I think that's worth something. Again, don't just vote. Vote and organise. Vote and get out there and do some shit too in the real world. But the idea of not voting because, fuck it, it's not perfect, is so counterproductive and just leads to 4 more years of Trump, which will be devastating for those people. Anyway, that's my basic position. Let's listen to Brianna Joy Gray and this Virgil Texas take on Noam Chomsky.
What are the long-term consequences of everybody on the broad left, Democrats, liberals, everyone, saying that under any circumstances, we will vote for a Democratic candidate as long as they are incrementally better than the Republican candidate? Does that way of thinking contribute to the rightward shift of the Democratic Party over years? And what mechanism will ever stop that shift if we're not willing to ever, under any circumstances, leverage our votes?
What you're saying, if you think it through, is we should help Trump win because maybe in the long run, that'll affect the Democratic Party. That's a terrible choice. Helping Trump win, as you're proposing, would mean 4 more years of destruction of the environment, getting possibly to tipping points, which would be irreversible.
Yeah, I agree with all those points. I just wanted to interject that people have been trying to make this about age, and to be fair, he does look like if Santa Claus started taking heroin. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look great. But, and yes, he's old. But to be fair, he's been pretty consistent on this for decades, that this is the strategy that he thinks would be best. Trump is, I think, probably certainly the worst since Reagan, but arguably the worst in modern times in terms of Republican presidential candidates. So why people would expect him to change that, I don't know. But also you've got to bear in mind, old people are people. Okay, he's not lost his fucking marbles. He's still perfectly sane. He's still in full receipt of his faculties. And secondly, Brianna Joy ran the campaign for Bernie Sanders, who's also old as balls. So and Virgil Texas supported Bernie Sanders' campaign. So the idea that old people being involved in politics is somehow bad is just ageist shit. Don't fucking pull that nonsense. If you disagree with Chomsky, that's fine. Make a fucking argument. Don't just go, oh, old boomer cunt, like that's enough.
Certainly making any effort to deal with it very difficult. It would mean stacking the judiciary with young, ultra-right lawyers, top to bottom, so that nothing would be possibly done for a generation. And I can go on and on. I don't think that's a wise choice, just on the hope that maybe sometime in the long term, the Democratic Party will pay attention to the fact that you're part of the 50% of non-voters.
Yeah, that's fundamentally the problem. Politicians in elected assemblies, or individuals like a president, don't fucking listen to you if you don't vote. Like, they're just, because there's no real incentive for them to do so. They're going to obviously focus on those who do vote above those who don't. Now, they still have to try and serve all of the people, although Trump has completely thrown that out the window with California is hell thing. Fundamentally, his whole strategy seems to be, I haven't been president for 4 years. Re-elect me. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Anyway. But yeah, if you don't vote, they don't have any real reason to listen to you. So, I mean, if you do think it's worthwhile trying to affect change within the Democratic Party or within the Labour Party here in Britain or whatever I mean, I dread to say that the Democratic Party is that left-wing, because it isn't. That's how far right America has gone, unfortunately. But whatever your less right-wing option is, in the country in which you reside or the country in which you're allowed to vote, if you think it's worth trying to affect that change, you do have to vote. Otherwise, why would they listen to you?
I take the multi-generational threat very seriously. As a Black American whose family members have been living as a third tier in American society. My mother was born into an America that didn't recognize her basic human rights. In 1960, she's a relatively young woman. And so what concerns me is the way in which the vote blue no matter who mindset basically privileges more recent concerns that are equally grave as more long-standing concerns that are built in the status quo, and says we have to vote for X candidate to prevent X ill from happening. At the same time, those who have suffered under the status quo never seem to get an opportunity to have their issues heard.
Okay, I mean, there's a truth to that. I'm not going to deny that, and I'm certainly not going to deny Brianna's lived experience of that. The one point I would say, or query, is the strategy then of not doing anything about it. If you think, as clearly she must, because she ran the campaign for a senator to run for the fucking presidency, so presumably she does think that things can be achieved via the electoral method. Not necessarily all, but some good things. What does she then think is gained on behalf of, I mean, she mentioned specifically being a black American, right? So what does she think is gained for black people by refusing to participate and making it more likely that Trump gets back in? Because I think any reasonable person would suggest that Trump getting back in would be bad for black people. Now, unless you're going to go with some fucking crazy out there accelerationist point of view, I don't know what you think is going to be achieved by doing that. Now, I'm genuinely open to people's arguments on that, either in the live chat now or in the description, or not description, in the my mind's gone. My mind is totally gone. The comments section below is what I meant to say. Or on Twitter, my Twitter and all of that's all linked below, so if you want to go and check that out, you can. What do you think is gained by that? Because if all you're doing is standing back and being kind of morally pure, I'm not accusing Brianna Joy Gray of that, but I think a lot of people are doing that, of saying, well, Biden isn't perfect, and therefore I'm not going to bother. Yeah, you get to feel a kind of hipster sense of self-importance and self-righteousness, but you're essentially being a really shit ally to downtrodden people, it seems to me, by not doing the basic thing of trying to stop fascism in America. And if you think, by the way, that Joe Biden will continue with fascism in America, that isn't true. That's obviously not fucking true. Now, he'll still continue with the horrific foreign policy, I've no doubt about that. There's no fucking choice in that regard in many respects. But in terms of America's internal politics, the differences are pretty stark. Trump has already very much made it aware that he's going to turn America, or try and turn America, into a basic police state. Kind of fascist Trumpian police state. Biden, for all of his problems, and there are a plethora of issues I have with Joe Biden, he's not that. He's clearly not that. And I don't even want to sit here and defend the guy. I don't want to be like, yeah, vote for Joe Biden, because Joe Biden makes my fucking skin crawl. But realistically, there are two options, you know? And the entrenched two-party system is fucked up. Anyway. He really does look ill. But to be fair, he is 1 million years old, so, you know. Hang on. What are you talking about in the chat, people? Apologies, everyone. I don't know, someone was going on about George Bush, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Now we have a simple question. Do you want your grandchildren to survive? I think the people you're talking to say yes.
Now, I think that's a little bit hyperbolic in terms of do you want your grandchildren to survive? I know the point he's about to make about like global warming, but I think it's a little bit too stark to say your grandchildren won't survive. I think that's a bit much. But the point is, the world will be a great deal worse if we don't try and stop global warming. Look, we might have already reached a tipping point we can't get back from, but at least if the Earth is gonna die, let's make the air cleaner whilst it happens. Maybe, like, what's wrong with that? So I don't know, but I think it's a bit stark and a bit over the top to say, do you want your grandchildren to survive? Although what I will say is that, I mean, Brown Joe Groyd to a lesser extent, but Virgil Texas was a complete cunt in this. He was being really aggressive and angry, not angry, but quite aggressive and attacking, quite rude to Chomsky. So I can understand him being a little bit over the top to make his point.
I want my grandchildren to survive.
So many people's grandchildren are already not surviving.
Yes,
That's the issue.
You want to ensure that they'll live underwater or have a chance to survive.
So many people aren't thinking.
Right, and again, Brianna, it's true. A lot of people aren't surviving. How does allowing Donald Trump to continue in office help that situation? Because he's actively come out in support of people who murder black folk. Like, he's actively supporting the police, and the police are actively supporting him. Now, again, that doesn't mean you have to vote for Joe Biden. I'm not going to shame anyone who doesn't want to vote for Joe Biden. I don't really want people to vote for Joe Biden. I feel they need to. That's the problem. Joe Biden's garbage, but if your choices are a pile of garbage and a mountain of garbage, your pile of garbage is better. What can I say? Anyway, so yeah, just allowing the mountain of garbage to swallow up yet more black lives and Latino lives and queer people and all the rest of it, I don't know how that improves anyone's lot. Genuinely, I don't know. And this is the fundamental problem with the kind of Bernie or bust position, is that I don't know what you think positively will be gained by just smugly sitting on the sidelines. And again, I'm not saying all of them are smug. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who are huffing their own farts in genuinely industrial quantities.
Thinking about living underwater because they're incarcerated or they're unhomed.
Then as an activist,
Yeah, and to be fair, Joe Biden has said, the Kamala Harris said they're going to get rid of private prisons, which will be a help, and expunging the records of people who've been convicted of marijuana offences. That helps. Again, it's not going to solve the problem. You're still going to have the prison industrial complex to some extent. You're still going to have horrifically racist justice system that needs to be very, very root and branched, cleansed of the racist bilge within. So I'm not suggesting that that will just instantly go away. But there are things that like that Biden is proposing that if he does some of, will help the situation you've just outlined, Brianna. And I don't want this to appear like I'm white-splaining or mansplaining to her. And if it does, I can only apologise for that. But I feel it needs to be said that there are genuine things that, like, the only way in which the kind of position she's putting out there makes any real sense is either from an accelerationist point of view, which I don't think she is. She ran a presidential campaign. That would be a little bit fucking mental. And secondly, or secondly, if you think there's literally no difference between Biden and Trump, which, again, I think any sensible approach to the platforms being proposed clearly isn't the case. Am I wrong on this? I genuinely, I'll pause for a second to get some feedback from the chitty chats. Does it seem? Am I out of order here? Am I going too far? Like, what's everyone's thoughts? I think it's pretty fundamental. Like, I understand not wanting to vote for the lesser of two evils all the time, but in the situation that we're in, maybe that's the best we can hope for. Like, human progress doesn't happen in a linear fashion, okay? Within living memory, we've had literal Nazis running most of Europe and slaughtering millions of people. And humanity bounced back, to some extent, from that, okay? So it's not linear, it goes up and down. And if we're in a dip moment, which I think is pretty incontrovertible, that we are in a moment of lull in the sense of human progress, maybe the best we can do is flatten the curve, so to speak. Maybe that's the best we can hope to do. You know? Can you see the cone? Is that still on the screen? I can't see that. Where's the cone? Is he there? Where is he? You can't see the fucking cone. Don't lie to me, boy. Unless he moved. Biden was at the lower end of the voting choices, but I will take him in a heartbeat over Trump. Exactly, yeah. Equivalency is a logical fallacy. One is better, and you should vote for the better one. Well, yes and no. That's in a situation where you have to pick one of the two, which obviously in a democracy you don't. You can not vote, or you can vote for a third party. But yeah, in general, I agree with the point you're making there. These centrist voters gave us no other choice but have to vote for Krusty Joe. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, and no offence to anyone who's got families that are boomers. I've got boomer family members too. So I'll be annoyed when they die, obviously, but boomers are dying off. They've had their chance and they've fucked things up royally. Let's hope when they're out of the fucking way, again, perfectly naturally, I have no violent intention towards any of them whatsoever, but once they're out of the way, hopefully we can get to a more progressive place. Hopefully. Anyway, I'll get Rory Katz on the screen. Although as soon as I wake him up, he'll want to go out the door, so I'll have to do that. Come here, Rory Katz. Yeah. Shut up. In my beautiful baby cats. Can you? There he is, upside down. My baby cats. Come on then. Oh. Anyway, that was Rory Katz. Oh, and he's just literally. Oh, bless him. I put him down on the floor, and he's literally just lay down exactly where I put him down. Oh God, he's adorable. Anyway. I don't think he could hear the music. Hello, PZ, by the way. I don't think he could hear the music because I had my earphones in. Plus, he's a big fan of white rap anyway. Anyway. You missed the cat. Oh, well, I'm not picking him up again. But if you just skip back and he's there. That's anyway. So yeah, let's go back to Gnome, the Gnome Meister. Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong fucking screen again.
Goal is to get them to think about it, because that is what is at stake.
Well, that did make a lot of sense after the break. There's no context there. Never mind. Anyway, this hipster fuck thinks he knows a lot more than Noam Chomsky. Let's listen.
If these capitalist institutions result in recurring ecological crises and existential ones as they do, then isn't the real fight against those institutions instead of a reform that maybe gets us over the hump in 30 years, if it were possible to lobby those in power through activism, some kind of brokering, those who are beholden to the profit motive, even if it destroys the environment?
We have maybe a decade or two to deal with the environmental crisis. Is there the remotest chance that within a decade or two we'll overthrow capitalism? It's not even a dream, okay? So the point that you're raising is basically irrelevant.
That's quite nice. And it's true, yeah. I mean, oh God, I don't know if you've been following the... this is an adjoining point, but I think it's relevant. Jesus God, the horrific nonsense that's been going on Twitter in the last few days about mutual sexual aid, which was a conversation being held in leftist spaces online, on Twitter and Facebook and the like, regarding the concept of will there be sex work under communism. and whether it would be called sex work or whether it would be mutual sexual aid or whether it's, whatever. And I just kept thinking to myself, is this really the thing that needs to be talked about, really? Look, I don't care, you can talk about whatever you like, but why are you talking about this thing that, as I think Chomsky rightly elucidates, is in a society that most likely none of us will live to see? So it's not relevant to us in any way whatsoever. Communism or socialism or even fucking social democracy, really, is not likely to happen anytime fucking soon. We're only just beginning to maybe build the groundwork for something in the future. Maybe. That's about as confident as I can fucking be for you. So why are you talking about this as if this is some deadly serious thing that needs to be sorted out right now? Like, it's so fucking not. It's so unbelievably not. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about sex workers' rights and all of that. But it has to be connected to some sort of reality rather than a hypothetical future world that A, may never happen, and B, won't happen in our lifetimes. We won't live to see it. And I'm not saying therefore we leave it to future generations. If we've got great ideas, they need to be explored now, of course. But these were not great ideas. These were dog shit ideas. I just thought to myself, the left has, unfortunately, a tendency to disappear up its own arse in terms of navel-gazing, fart huffery that doesn't connect with the working class at all. If you go to any trade union meeting or whatever and start talking about the possibility of sex work under communism, or if you go to a factory meeting and start talking about that, they will look at you like you're a fucking alien. They will look at you like you're a freak. You will, because you're not connecting in any way to the things that are relevant to the working class. You're just not. That's not to say that they wouldn't be interested in sex workers' rights or changes to laws to make sex workers safer, but the idea of some hypothetical dream world scenario in which you then posit the idea of sex work as a concept is nothing. As to use the word that Chomsky used, it's irrelevant. Absolutely fucking irrelevant. That's not to say you shouldn't plan for and hope for the end of capitalism. I think that would be a good thing. But the idea that you can talk as if that's just naturally going to happen and that we're going to have any say in the society that arrives isn't true, because we'll all be festering in the ground. Well, we'll probably all be burned, let's be honest. Cremation's the way forward, isn't it? We're going to run out of space to bury people. But, yeah, we'll all be dead. We'll all be very, very dead if that society happens. So probably not worry about that. Let's try and actually make the society happen first. Anyway. And part of that is stopping fascism in the short term, at least.
Of course, let's work to try to overthrow capitalism. It's not going to happen like that. There's a lot of work involved. Meanwhile, we have an imminent question. Are we going to preserve the possibility for organized human society to survive? Are we going to preserve the possibility for us to work to overthrow capitalist institutions? Or are we going to say, it's hopeless, let's quit? I prefer the first. You're calling for the second.
Yeah, it's difficult to argue against that, it seems to me. And you can tell, unfortunately, there are some people, sort of class reductionist types, who are so dishonest that they looked at these clips and maybe even watched the whole thing and came away with it saying, oh, Noam Chomsky got fucked really bad. Oh, fuck's sake. It's fucking tragic, man. Is there any more? Yeah. Right. Oh no, I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? There we go. The Bloomberg one is quite interesting. Yes. So, yeah, the annoying thing is that Virgil Texas trotting around as if he won an argument is fucking nonsense, first and foremost, and is fundamentally a bad faith, literal bad faith approach to a conversation. And secondly, Noam Chomsky's contribution to the left will be remembered after he is dead, and after I am dead, and after Virgil Texas is dead, and after Brianna Joy Gray is dead. Brianna Joy Gray, unless something crazy happens, or Virgil Texas, unless something really crazy happens, will not be remembered, particularly. Not that they'll be irrelevant, just they won't be remembered as like having made some sort of vital contribution to the left. So, yeah, the idea that they can peacock around as if they've made some sort of blow against, I don't even know what they think, the establishment or something. Noam Chomsky has made a lasting impression on the left worldwide, and I think there are some people who would do well to remember that. Anyway.
Would you make this same argument if the nominee were Michael Bloomberg?
Of course. He's nowhere near as hideous as Trump. I mean, take climate again, which is one of the major problems. A lot of things wrong with Bloomberg, but his position on climate is infinitely better than Trump's. Trump, the parts of the left can't seem to understand. They're joining with the far right in denying the crisis of climate. There's plenty of other things, but let's just keep to that. Trump is alone in the world in pressing the accelerator towards disaster soon. That's a crucial issue. Do we want to support that, or do we want to kick him out?
A very good question that I would like anyone who is planning to not vote for Trump and is on to not vote for Biden and is on the left to answer, I think. There you are.
That's only one issue. No matter how bad Bloomberg may be on other things, it doesn't weigh in the balance against this. On the other things in which he's bad, Trump is also worse, but that doesn't matter.
Can you understand how, if you are a member of the groups that are attacked by Donald Trump and Michael Bloomberg, if you are, let's say, a Black person who has been the victim of Bloomberg's stop and frisk policies and been bear direct witness to his lack of respect for basic civil rights, Fourth Amendment rights, some of the most foundational rights we have as Americans, that being told that Donald Trump is incrementally worse than him speaks to a bigger systemic issue.
Not mentally, vastly worse.
Well, if we're talking about something like stop and frisk, it's a real potato situation with the two of them, given exactly how oppressive Bloomberg's reign in New York City was.
On the question of housing discrimination, they're both, Bloomberg and Trump are both bad. Trump happens to be worse, but it doesn't matter because the issue on November 3rd, even if it was Bloomberg, is not housing. It's shall organized human society survive?
Now, again, he overstates the point, I think. But I think the point is good nonetheless. Bloomberg, or Biden, or whoever, Bloomberg especially, is shit. But he's significantly less shit than Trump is. And that's the point. That's the basic dynamic. Now, like I say, he overstates the point, but it's not necessarily about will humans society survive, but whether America will descend into full-on fascism or not. That's what's on the ballot. And that, I think, is an important enough thing to hold your nose, and you will have to hold your nose as a leftist, and go in there and put your X next to Biden and Harris. It's just a fact. It's just the way, I think, it's just the way it is. It's not nice, it's just the way it is. Are we talking about RT in the chat? What is that? Russia Today, that is, sorry. Anyway. I don't know if I can be bothered with it, really. Oh, I suppose I will. Caleb Maupin went on the Low Society podcast talking about class reductionists. The Low Society podcast with Peter Coffin and Andy Speaks. Well, yeah, and Caleb Maupin. The thing that annoyed me about this, and I won't play too much of it. I've got lots of timestamps, but I'm only going to show you a couple because I can't be bothered, if I'm honest. I'm not interested. But it's interesting that he went on this show and hang on, and he at no point did they feel like asking him about like his Uyghur genocide denial at any point, even though they specifically bring up the criticisms that have been made of him. They gloss over his blatant transphobia, which is disgusting, especially given that, I mean, Peter themselves is non-binary, right? You think they'd have a better grasp of that, but no, Peter apparently is prepared to sell trans and non-binary people down the river on the basis that, I don't know, the less class reductionist people. I mean, they call them the liberal left. Yeah, they just add the word liberal because it's basically a pejorative on the left, isn't it? It's pretty shoddy. Anyway, 50 minutes. What? Hang on.
All of a sudden, Obama, he's no good. 2011 revolution had been good.
I think Gaddafi.
Plus value, he rips Malthusian thinking to shreds.
He also took big...
Malthusian. I just wanted to hear Burger King say Malthusian again. That one was the thoughts line.
Dumps on his face, too.
A hatred of communism actually going to be moving.
Sort of astroturfing of what socialism is that's going on at the moment and is continuously perpetuated by the social media platforms we're on, the incentives that, are placed in front of us on these social media platforms, the fact that, there's a lot of obfuscation and kind of gutting of the idea of class politics. Where do you think all this is headed, and how do you think that people who are principled on the left can combat this?
Well, I think we're actually going to be moving in a good direction.
It's interesting to me that they would bring up, and that's the last clip. I can't even be bothered. Actually, can I? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, well, a lot of them are the same, like the covert transformation of socialism. So someone mentions that Charles Manson is a CIA plant. That was funny. They mentioned Vosh because Vosh lives rent free in their head. It was fucking months ago he called you class reductionists. Get over yourselves. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting that they talk about astroturfing on the left, and that's a recurring theme in this show, or this episode anyway. Because Caleb Maupin is paid for by Russia Today. He's a bought and paid for puppet of Vladimir Putin. Not in the Russiagate sense. He literally is. He takes a paycheck from Russia Today to tell lies. So the idea that you can sit here and say, what do we, the principled on the left, do about this, when you're literally sucking up to a guy who takes a paycheck from someone who murders journalists, murders political opponents, would, if you were Russian, murder you, Peter or Angie or whoever, because you're an opponent of his, at least in theory. And at no point did you mention the fact that he's friends with Nazbols. You hint at this. You say it's what's the phrase I'm looking for? Guilt by association. You say that it's guilt by association, but he went there purposely to associate himself with them. He sat on the same platform as Alexander Dugin, the essentially founder of Nazbolism. Nazbol is National Bolshevik. It's essentially Nazis who like the hammer and sickle aesthetic, basically. Went there to sit there with Alexander Dugin, said that he'd read his book, and that he basically agreed with most of it. That's not guilt by association. That's just him being a fucking Nazbol. So you know what? If you're the principled on the left, yeah, I'm happy to be called unprincipled, because those words don't mean anything anymore. Anyway, so I'm done with that. I mean, I was going to go through a lot more extensively, but I am actually a little bit tired. If I'm honest, I'm a little bit tired, so I'm just going to leave it there, I think. I'm just reading the chat. Sorry, yeah. Okay. Yes, so, join me tomorrow. Oh, do a little stretchy stretch. Oh, Rory Katz is impossibly cute. I could show you, but it'd blow your fucking mind. Anyway. Yes, join me tomorrow. The flag behind me is the flag of the Spanish Republic and the International Brigades. Need to slow what down? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, you join me tomorrow with Tim Paul Clips, the guy who not analogues, catalogues. Tim Paul's fucking lies and bullshit and obfuscation to talk about Tim Paul's recent fuckery with trying to bait leftists into debate and then backing out because he's full of shit. His interview with the leader of the Proud Boys, and what an absolute softball blowjob of an interview it was. What an embarrassment. We'll be taking a look at some of that tomorrow. And just generally, Tim Paul stuff, and probably some other stuff, some other politics and things. Because I didn't realise I thought he was an American, Tim Paul Clips. He's a British guy. There you go. Tim Paul. Nice. I prefer calling him Pim Tool because I know it annoys him. But anyway. I tend to cut off the word flag. Do I? I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I stopped reading the chat, Kib. Do the wrap up. Right. So, join me then. 7 PM tomorrow. 7 PM UK time. 2 PM on the east coast of Americana land. 6 AM in Fiji. Go Fiji. Yeah, my social medias are below. Go if you're on YouTube, go and follow me on the Twitches. If you're on Twitch, go and follow me on the YouTubes. My T-shirt, it's a Sabutio T-shirt underneath and a blue jumper. Yeah, I stop fucking with the chat. Anyway, thank you. Go and subscribe to all of my things and all of that. And I will see you back here the same time, same place tomorrow with Tim Paul Clips. And then I don't know what I'm doing Thursday or Friday. I'll do something. Anyway, what? He's now rubbing up against me. And though the cowards flinch and traitors sneer, we will keep the red flag flying here. No pass around. Oh, I need to raid, don't I? Apologies. I'm raiding. Sorry. I'll do no pass around again. Yes. No pass around.